Welcome to Trees in Space, the podcast that gives you the honest review of movies that you think you might want to see. I'm Nate.
I'm Smitty. How y'all doing?
This week we watched Barbie, a PG-13 movie. Came out just recently, July 21st. Wow, this movie came out in July?
Yeah.
It's still in theaters?
Yes, because it's very popular. People are still spending money to watch this thing.
Oh my God. This movie?
Yeah.
This movie was directed by Greta Gerwig. The producers, who cares about the producers? The writer was Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach. This movie grossed $612.3 million tentatively right now. I'm sure it's going up because I saw it last night in theater. And the budget was 140. This budget was only 145 million.
That is true, and it's almost $1 billion worldwide. So it's not,
Yeah, and the runtime was just under 2 hours, which I thought it could have easily shaven off 30 minutes.
I don't know if it could shave off 30 minutes and be like it is. Go ahead.
This movie could have easily been an hour and a half.
I think at least an hour 40.
There's no reason for this movie to be almost 2 hours.
Well, you kind of had to have certain aspects. I don't know what part you'd cut out.
All of Will Ferrell.
Okay, well, you got to have, Will Ferrell's fine, but you got to have the bad guy. I think they could have cut out the Ken song.
I think they could have cut out all of the songs.
They kind of build up that kind of stuff, but the Ken song itself, because it's like the movie turned to the Ken movie. Well, it seemed like that's what the arc was. Ken's the one with the arc.
The Barbie Dance Party scene, way too long.
It was a little bit, but that's not 30 minutes.
Not 10. I felt like that thing was like 15 minutes long. It was way too long.
Well, they had to build up the whole, as you said, fan service for the Barbie fans, and that's what that was. And it was a little long. But it was just. Do you want to tell people about the what the movie's about? Because they might not know.
Oh yeah, so Barbie is the most popular of all the Barbies in Barbieland. Begins because she is stereotypical Barbie.
Yes, stereotypical Barbie.
And experience an existential crisis. She must travel to the human world in order to understand herself and discover her true purpose.
And that's what gets me is like Barbieland is a real place and no one knows about it except for the people at Mattel.
Right.
And Margot, that's her name. I don't care what the rest is. It's Margot Robbie. She's been hot, beautiful, and everything she's ever done. I said offline that she could fart in my mouth. I'd be okay with it. It's just, so anything she does, well, yes, just go ahead. Just it's 12 stars for me. I don't care. I think she did a great job as Barbie. But I think all the Barbies were wonderful. I think my favorite Barbie was the one with the cut hair, and because if you had a sister or if you had Barbies in your house,
what they did disfigured Barbie
or something. Yes, there was always that Barbie.
Disfigured Barbie behind your back into your face.
Yes, every time some Barbie was always looking like that, like ripped off, hair all cut and stuff, and I love the fact they pulled that in there.
I love her as an actress in general. Was that Kate McKinnon?
Yes, Kate McKinnon. Yes,
love her. She was the best part in the female Ghostbusters movie.
She was.
I would drink her bathwater. She is just the hope that I can get some of her talent.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say it's not a sexual thing. It's a talent thing.
It's a talent thing. She is absolutely magnificent. I wish she was in all the movies.
I don't think I've seen anything that I didn't like about her in a movie. I've seen movies with her in that I didn't like, but she's always been good.
Yeah. I love Margot Robbie, but her voice, I couldn't get past Harley Quinn.
She's kind of iconic for Harley Quinn, isn't she?
A little bit. And the whole time she was in this movie with the way her American accent is.
Because she's Australian, in case anybody does not know. Her true accent's Australian.
Yeah. So her American accent isn't too far off from her accent as Harley Quinn.
Without the New York slang or that.
Right. And it was, and that whole time I was like, God damn it, I can't. Like, if she dyed her hair a different color, but then she wouldn't be stereotypical Barbie.
Nope.
Like, aesthetically, crushed it.
Mm-hmm.
If they did this movie 15, 20 years ago, Jamie Presley could have crushed this role.
Yes.
But it's just the voice. I bumped into it real hard the whole time.
I guess seeing how I don't think I watched Suicide. Wait.
Yeah, Suicide Squad.
And she's in Birds of Prey also, right?
Yep.
I've not seen Birds of Prey.
There.
I watched the one Suicide Squad. I think I've only seen her like half the time as that person. So I don't see her as Harley Quinn. I know she is, but I have not pigeonholed her to that character. So, and I can see that issue because there's a lot of actors I can't see being anyone but like Keanu Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
I know he does John Wick and stuff, but every time I see John Wick killing people, I'm thinking, okay, there's Ted just killing all these freaking people from Bill and Ted's Excellent Ago. Or maybe that's Johnny Utah, the quarterback, how he started killing people. I don't see John Wick the way he talks like this, man, you know, with the California or Hawaiian type. I can never get that out of my head. So he doesn't seem to me like the killer.
I can't see. So with Keanu Reeves, anytime he plays anything, I'm like, yeah, get it, Keanu. Like, even though he was Neo in the Matrix, I can look past Neo. Like, I don't see him. And I actually like the actor that played in Dumb and Dumber, not
Jim Carrey. Oh, the other guy.
I know
Jeff Bridges.
Yes.
Is it Jeff Bridges?
No.
Because Jeff Bridges was the dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I know somebody that can't see him because he plays drama. Like, but every time they see him, they see Harry Dunn or Henry Dunn or whatever his name is.
That is true. And that with Keanu Reeves, like I said, I don't just see, I don't see, Ted or whichever one he was. I don't see that person, but I just don't see John Wick. I will never see him as John Wick, as that character. But with Robbie, I think when I see Robbie, I just think of the Wolf of Wall Street and being the girlfriend at the beginning there.
Seen it.
Oh my God! Okay.
New York accent in that movie?
What?
Does she have a New York accent in that movie?
I cannot remember. I just remember she's naked as a jaybird sitting on the ground, legs spread. He's doing cocaine off her butthole. It's just, I think it was her butthole.
Somebody's butthole.
Yeah. So, but I love her, and I can see the problem that you see in being Harley Quinn, because Harley Quinn and Barbie are two completely different characters.
Could you imagine Harley Quinn as Barbie?
Yeah.
That movie would have been so much better.
That would have been if she went to the real world to figure out her purpose, and then she comes back as Harley Quinn. Or like the attitude of Harley Quinn with the baseball bat and says, okay, Ken.
Or she goes into Gotham instead of California.
Yes.
And like bumps into Harley Quinn.
So, and by the way, folks, what happened? Did you see the little twist they were coming up? Like the person playing with the reason she was having the crisis because the girl playing with her is thinking of life and death and probably hurting themselves.
Right.
And did you not see that was probably the mom before they revealed it was the mom?
No, even with the pictures, I was like, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe she maybe she has some like magical role or something, or like she's like the cartoonist.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured she was intertwined somehow, but I couldn't place why or the how until they replayed the dream through the other lens, the other perspective of the mom.
Right, because that was because it was the mom that was doing that kind of stuff. And the daughter, I don't think the daughter was supposed to be a good person. I think the daughter was supposed to be the antagonist. I think she was supposed to be an asshole, and she was a very big asshole to Barbie.
Well, there is a conspiracy theory.
Ooh, I like conspiracy theories.
The daughter is actually part of the Bratz, which is another Mattel doll.
Oh.
And kids at the mean kids at the high school table
are Bratz.
And their names all kind of match up, I believe.
that making they do look like the Brat dolls.
Exactly.
And that's brilliant. That's great. That was I mean, there were so many things about the Barbie movie. Another movie that a lot of conservative people did not go watch because of the whole woke thing about the patriarchy being bad or whatever. And I do say they leaned a little bit into the patriarchy because they mentioned that word 45 times in the movie. I'm like, okay, we get it. Men bad, women good. But the movie wasn't for men. It wasn't. It's for and they weren't lying. All the kids had, baby girls had back in the day were baby dolls to be parents, to be mamas, to be.
Mm-hmm.
Then Barbie became a individual that can do anything,
Right.
and that's why. So that was correct. There was nothing wrong with any of that movie timeline because of
Well,
that.
what I thought was funny that they bumped into is they're like skill. And she's like, well, Barbie is a doctor. Barbie is a this. Barbie's a that. Barbie's a this. And they're like, well, are you? Well, no, I'm stereotypical Barbie.
Yes.
That Barbie is.
Yes.
That Barbie is.
Yes.
And it's, well, but you're Barbie. So how can a Barbie be everything? And it's like, no, that Barbie is that Barbie. I'm just this. And it was just so weird that they, I guess, I don't know. It's hard. I guess that would be, so I couldn't explain how to make that plot
it's very tough. It was very tough. And I love the transformation from, or the transportation, I guess, from Barbieland to the real world. I love the different things they had to do to get there and back, and how cartoonish or play it was. It was just, it was excellent. I did not like how they showed the patriarchy in California, because I think they did that a little overboard. Like, as soon as she shows there, guys go, "Ooh, look at that!" Oh, that you don't have to go that deep into something that really isn't a way it is anymore. I mean, I'm sure there's pockets that are that way. They could have easily showed favoritism towards men without being so overt about it in like it's 1970, because it's not.
But what I think I did like about it is I hated it and I liked it. And Ryan Gosling played this so freaking well.
Oh, he did.
The subservient role where you're just an accessory.
Yes.
That's it.
He's
That's
nobody without Barbie.
Exactly. And then he comes to real world and everybody's noticing him because he's stunning.
Yes.
Perfect body, hair, everything. Like he's
respected. Someone actually asked him for the time. They wanted something. Yes.
Yeah. And, all that was great. It's just, I guess it shows that with too much of it is a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
This was the underlying plot to the whole movie. Like, yeah, you can be a guy, just tone it down. And this is true story. We're leaving, right? Amanda, Brody, me driving home because we went to the movies. And Amanda's like, well, it's a man-controlled world. And I go, yeah, well, you women are manipulating men, so you can go ahead and just sit on it. Because that's exactly what they did at the end.
Yes.
They used manipulation. They and undermined and did all this stuff. And I was like, oh.
Like the beach scenes, whatever, where they flirted with each other and going back and forth. And that's what they do. And that's the stereotypical woman idea, if you will. Well, not all women do that. And it's very stereotypical parts. But go ahead.
Well, the other part to it, too, is it shows because at least I felt this way. It was the male perspective. Like, all men really want to do is impress women.
Yes.
At least straight men.
Yes.
And I was thinking, I was like, well, yeah, we get nice cars because we want to be noticed. We want to be peacocks. Mm-hmm. Like, we do this so that way, hopefully, somebody sees us.
Right.
And to have that hardwired, yeah, it's true. Like, I was like, I can't argue that.
Right.
I don't know.
I think they both had it's a very sexual identity, not sexual identity, but gender driven narrative on both sides, because by the end it shows that the Ken in the Barbie world, he doesn't have to be attached to her to be somebody. He was somebody anyhow, which is very body and human positivity for men who think they're simps or whatever. You don't have to be a simp. But it's also shown that women don't have to, appease a man to do the things that women want to get done. that they can overcome the things that they had overcome in the 60s and 70s and even before that. So it's good for both. So why anyone had complained about this, I don't know. They won't watch the same movie I was. I don't understand the very last scene when Barbie had to go to the doctor or whatever.
I had a problem with it, but I figured it out. I slept on it.
Yeah.
When they're in the construction scene, she makes reference that neither of them have any genitals.
Right, right.
And to advocate that she was fake.
Right.
And now that she's human, she has a vagina. So
Yes.
she's happy, like, it was just to show, like, yes, I am a woman because I have a vagina.
See, now that right there might make a lot of truly woke people mad because, like, no, just because so that's kind of like throwing sand in their face and all. But you figure she'd have just because she's a woman. It's like, well, if you want to be against the patriarchy, whatever, like she's getting a job. She's
Right.
She's doing something like I'm about to become CEO of Mattel. That's what she goes to do, whatever. And I do love the fact. Sorry, I'm skipping all over the place. They're trying to put her in a box, wrap her up to send her back. I'm sorry.
I love that as well. I had an issue. So I had a discovery. This movie is far from original. It is a complete bite of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Hear me out.
Oh, I want to hear you. I want to hear you how you're gonna. You know what? I think with this new show, you need to figure out a way. Every movie we watch is somehow attached to anything Kevin Smith did. I bet you can do it.
So hear me out. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Barbie. Ready? Hot take.
Okay.
Jay and Silent Bob. They have a comic book that they are the character basis of is getting turned into a movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have a destination they have to get to. They have objectives to get over in order to get there. And they meet little things in the way and learn a lesson as they go. Barbie, you have a problem. You're thinking of death and loneliness, and you have to go to the real world. Conveniently, it's still California, because that's where Jay and Silent Bob were going. They were also going to Hollywood, where Barbie was going to Venice Beach, which isn't too far off. But so then they get there, right? And guess who's there? Will Ferrell. Guess who was in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? Will Ferrell. They used the exact same person in both movies. He was the cop trying to chase Silent Bob, right? And Jay, because they were the clique commanders. Will Ferrell is chasing Barbie to put her back in a box to save the perception, but they didn't understand that Ken was going to cause this little conflict. Insert monkey. They have a monkey that is serving some kind of conflict with the relationship of the bank robbers.
Well, continue, because I'm going to blow all this shit to hell, but go ahead.
And then at the end of the movie, everything turned out fine.
Yes. Okay, well then you need to Kevin needs to bow his hat to the Muppet movie. Because that's what the Muppet movie was. Almost word for word. Except no Will Ferrell. But a lot of famous people there. So obviously every movie's biting off another movie. There's nothing original and stuff. But if Will Ferrell was not in both movies, would you have made that connection?
Yes. But
because everything's about
and then I'm telling you, Will Ferrell's not a great actor.
I've been saying this for decades, not decades, but I've been saying this for years.
Like, he's kind of funny. He's got funny moments, but like this movie, and I guess maybe that was the direction of the movie. It was so over the top. Like, he just went over the top acting.
That's what he's known to do and stuff. Unlike Jim Carrey, who was over the top actor but got some serious roles and did great in serious roles. I don't know if Will Ferrell could.
No, I think with Jim Carrey, he found a range though. Like, the satire for it was earned, if that makes any sense. But I don't know. Will Ferrell he is very Nicolas Cage, just funny.
Yeah, I'm just because he ended up being in Barbieland at the end, right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing I didn't like. I did not like the standard all these Barbies were under a trance, and so the real woman came over there and gave them speeches about, you know, all that big speech she gave, and they broke out of their trance because of the speech. I mean, you be a little more better than that. Come on, writers, be better. Stop acting like you're so. You know, that was a very victim mentality at that point in time in the movie. So the only time I saw it in the movie was that point. I'm like, you could have been better. But besides that, that's probably the only downfall I thought of the movie.
Well, we have some people that had some. Rotten Tomatoes gave this an 88. The audience score was an 83. I'm disagreeing with both of those. Just the 5-star review, Metropunk 2033. It was high quality, funny, and subtle as a brick to the skull when it came to its theme. However, I think Barbie was able to pull it off well. Also, any piece of media that covers themes of existentialism with well-being human is too complicated, but it's still cool. Get some extra points from me.
Way to go, Metroplex. Okay. 1-star reviews or less. Linda, it was not what I expected at all. Explanation point 5 times. Did not like the male bashing, and I always thought that Ken and Barbie liked each other. Technically, Ken and Barbie are brother and sister. People don't know this.
Oh, I loved Alan. He was my favorite.
Alan was great, yeah. And he's a real character, too. Alan's a real... yeah,
and Pregnant Barbie? Loved
yeah, that was great, yeah. Because they did a lot of that. Anyways, and it was not like that in the movie. She was mean to him, and the ending was atrocious. Going in for an OBGYN appointment, I thought she was going for a job interview. That would have made it a lot better. That would have made it a lot better. Thumbs down.
DS, adorable movie, well executed and well articulated. Descriptions of facets of society we often overlook. Stunning visuals that kept you hooked in. I almost expected the world to be in real life Barbieland when I left the theater. Lots of fun. I laughed the whole time.
Okay, this person got some serious issues if you thought it was so like I thought we're going to be Barbieland when I left the theater. But I will agree with the stunning visuals. I do love Barbieland.
When was this a comedy?
Well, I mean, it is a comedy.
It was not funny.
It was very funny. The male chauvinist pig.
No one in my theater laughed.
I laughed half the time. I laughed through the whole thing. I wasn't like laughing in the beginning. The end, that wasn't like that.
Just did not land.
Well, that's true too, but it was still trying to be funny. BK or B, I don't know. Oh my God, I can't believe I wasted my money on this film. Not what I expected.
I agree. Jose, I feel like the movie should have been focused more on the real main character, Ken. He made this movie fantastic. Everyone in the theater could feel the Kenergy.
Oh, what a word.
Ken had people kenning all over the theater. There were people kenning to my left. There were people kenning to my right. Absolutely amazing.
Then this is a 5-star review when he said it could have been better. That's weird. Okay. Todd K. Too preachy. First 2 to 3 were mildly. First 2 to 3, I don't know.
2/3.
2/3, sorry. Were mildly entertaining, and the last 1/3 was unbearable.
I would strike that and reverse it.
And reverse it.
Dylan, I have to go see the gynecologist. Apparently, that was, to me, I found that probably the funniest part of the whole movie.
Okay, that's fair to everybody. Okay. Judy, can you give me permission first? Can you give me permission? First, this is not for kids. If I think this is one of the worst movies I have had gone to, I can't believe it made a special penny as it did. Wow. I don't know if that's English.
That was bad, but I agree. It was. Here's my bump. I could have seen this movie at home.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go spend $70 combined for tickets and concessions to see this movie.
I thought it was with the price to watch it.
I didn't. I would have rather saw it at home.
I watched it in theaters, so.
So did I. OSU Buckeye. This is the last of the 5-star review. The highlight of my evening was watching our blankets washing at the laundromat. If that tells you anything. Oh, that's yours.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like the sense of nostalgia brought back the dislike, the musical singing scenes. And that
But
was from Christine, Teigen, Rocky, Nevada, and Caleb.
And my last one is Buckeye person. The highlight was my evening was watching the blankets wash at the laundromat. If that tells you how bad the movie is.
I agree. I would have much rather watched blankets wash.
This man has no social skills.
It wasn't good. And the what the fuck review from Melania, too long and lots of content that was not interesting. That to me, that's the movie. Too long and lots of content that was not interesting.
You needed the content for the movie. Now there was parts I think like I said, you need to cut back on. Obviously, I think the whole Ken dance song was unnecessary and very poor. I don't like the song at all.
I love the choreography though. Like it was super cheesy. I hated it. It was there.
I love the cheesy part of the Barbie because it's Barbie. It's Barbie. It's supposed to be that way.
I think they should have used that as an advertising campaign.
Did you not find it funny when he walked in there and says, "Can I go do an operation?" Well, you can't. You're not a doctor, but I'm a man. But you're not a doctor. You don't think that was funny?
I did find that funny. Well,
okay. It's like, but I'm a man. I'm a man. That was great.
Well, yeah. Can you be like? I want to be a lifeguard. Well, can you swim? No.
You can't do. What do you do? I just stand here.
I beach. Well, what does that mean? I can stand here.
That's it. I beach. That was funny.
Like in a beach off.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that Ken did, I enjoyed that Ken was the satire, the humor to the movie.
Yes.
Like you needed him in order for Barbie to work.
Right. I love the Ken versus Ken stuff and the beach off and that was great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the male machismo.
Yes, that all was great.
Yeah. I don't know. So I will give this movie 2 trees in the stump.
That's a lot higher than I thought it was going to be, considering how much you said you hated it.
I mean, I had a lot of bumps to it. It wasn't a horrible movie. I could check out mentally with it. I would have just rather seen it at home.
Because I can't put about how I watched it. That shouldn't matter to my rating here, but it'd be lower if Margot Robbie wasn't the actress in this, so I'm going to give it an extra, half a stump because of her. So I'm going to give it 3 trees.
3 trees.
Same as Dial of Destiny, yes.
Wow. See, Dial of Destiny was so much better, but I can't speak for you. Thank you everyone for listening and watching. Check us out on YouTube, Talking Stuff Podcast Network on YouTube and everywhere where you find podcasts. This is Trees in Space. I've been Nate. That's been Smitty.